Hey, so today I'm teaching myself how to sew. So I got this sewing machine about 2 years ago. I put it on my wedding registry whenever I was getting married, and I told my husband, like, if somebody bought it for me, that I would teach myself how to sew. It's been 2 years. So I spent a lot of time yesterday reading this manual, getting used to the sewing machine. I even got some bobbins ready to get started today, and I got the sewing machine all threaded through. And also yesterday I started prepping this pattern that I got off Etsy. I don't remember how much I spent on it because I bought it 2 years ago whenever I thought I was going to start sewing a whole bunch, and I never did. But I got it from Aurora Patterns off Etsy, and I'll link them down below. I don't really remember how much I spent on it, but I just, like, for somebody who has no idea how to make patterns or even really know how to sew or anything, I just thought this would be, like, easy to, you know, have written instructions and have a pattern. But it did take me forever yesterday to put this together because I printed out a whole bunch of printer paper, and I had to cut the printer paper and tape it together. So there has to be an easier way to, like, put patterns together. I just don't know what I'm doing. So if you know how to sew and you have tips that you want to give me, leave them down in the comments. I am all ears. So 2 years ago, whenever I first got this sewing machine, I did do one project, and I just remember I was not, like, happy with how it turned out, so I just, like, didn't touch it again, and I ended up buying, you know, sewing books. And this book is, like, not one that you just read front to back. It's more like a college textbook where, like, you kind of read a little bit and do a little bit. But I did read the first chapter, just basics on, you know, how to use your sewing machine and, you know, things like that. But I will read more into this because this book does have, it seems like it has a lot of information. I just need to know what I'm doing first before I jump into the more complicated stuff. But for now, we're just going to do a basic t-shirt today, and let me show you the fabric that we're working with. So this is the fabric that I have, and this is actually the project that I did 2 years ago that I wasn't happy with. Honestly, it's not that bad. So don't get me wrong, like, I can tell that I just messed up on a lot of stuff. Like, my stitching is just kind of, like, all over the place on this, and nothing is really even. I remember the biggest problem that I had was the sewing machine kept, like, trying to eat my fabric, and it put holes all through it. Yeah, it kept snagging the fabric, and I just remember the thread kept getting all, like, tangled up in this bobbin area, and that was really frustrating. But I was reading, like, online about why, and I think because this is, like, more of a stretchy material, it kept getting caught in the machine. So yesterday, whenever I was getting the machine prepped, I did change out the needle. I put a different pressure foot on it. So I'm just hoping that today goes a lot better, because the pattern that I'm doing today is a t-shirt. That's what I was prepping yesterday, and I want to make a t-shirt out of this green lightning bolt fabric. As you can tell, my favorite color is green. But I was reading the pattern last night, and I cut everything to a size medium, and I think this may actually be too big for me. Like, this is the front of the shirt, and I cut it to medium, and it just looks so big. After reading the pattern, I realized that, like, yeah, this is probably going to be too big for me, so I need to cut it down to a small before I cut it around my fabric. So that's what I'm going to do real quick before I get started. Okay, so I cut everything down to a small, and I honestly feel a lot better about this, so I think I'm going to go with this. So now it's time to cut out the fabric. I got one of these round cutters because I'm hoping this makes it a lot easier. So we'll see. So one of the reasons why I wanted to get into sewing is because I really want to make my own clothes. And I started crocheting because I wanted to learn how to make my own clothes, And people kept telling me like, oh, you know, it'd probably be easier to like sew and make your own clothes. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but I don't know how to use a sewing machine. So that's kind of a problem. And I don't know anything about like fabric or needles or any of that. So it's just a lot of stuff that I've got to learn that I don't know how to do. But if I can learn how to crochet, then I could probably learn how to do this, because I do have to say, like, it does seem a little easier. It's just a lot of work. I say that, and like, crochet is a lot of work too, let's be honest. I do have to say, I've made 2 shirts and I'm working on a sweater right now. I'll give you a little sneak peek of it. So I am working on my first hexagon sweater. This is 1 hexagon. I have another one that's completed. I've been working on it for a couple months, so yeah, if I end up with a shirt by the end of today, sewing is a lot faster, like obviously, but you can't deny that this is beautiful. Okay, I've got everything cut out. I still have a lot of fabric left over, so I could probably do something else with this. Like, maybe I could make a skirt with this. Okay, so now that I have everything cut out, the next thing I need to do is to pin the front and the back together. And I need to read the instructions to make sure I do this part right, because this is where I start getting nervous. This is where I may start messing up, so. Okay, so before I get started, I'm just gonna run a scrap piece through and see what happens. Everything should be ready to go because I prepped it yesterday, so why am I getting nervous? I don't know. Okay, so put the foot down. Oh, gosh, okay. Okay, I actually really like how this turned out. I don't know if this is like the right stitch for clothing, but that's what I'm gonna go with. So, okay, so the instructions say to start with the shoulders, so that is where I will start. Oh gosh, I think it already messed up. Oh, the string came out. Okay. This is one thing over sewing versus crocheting. I cannot see the thread that well, so I need glasses. Totally ate the fabric again. Oh my gosh, why does it keep doing that? So this was happening to me last time I tried to sew something. It just kept eating the fabric. And I think this time it was because I had it way too close to the edge. So I don't want to recut this. I want to just like keep going with what I have, but I'm just going to do the stitch like a lot lower and see if that makes any difference. And also, I just want to say one thing. Like, I understand that like you need to turn the machine off to like mess with any of the components to it so that you don't accidentally hit the pedal and, you know, stab yourself. But you are also turning the light off when you turn it off, and for somebody who needs glasses to see the thread, like, bro, this is not, like, I need a light. But anyways, I'm gonna try this again. I'm going to make sure that I have more fabric on this side of it so that it doesn't like go down in the machine, and let's see if that works. Okay, the top string does not look like it's connected now. I'm having so many difficulties today, but it's okay. It's all the learning experience. Okay, I think I have the thread back again. So let's turn this back on. Okay, so maybe I'm like not putting this top thread in the right spot, but I could have swore the top thread keeps like coming undone. This is frustrating. I thought this was like literally gonna take me not very long. I don't know, maybe an hour, 20 minutes. And it's been 30 minutes and we're still on the same shoulder stitch. So this first shoulder is gonna be a little rough, but you know, that's fine. Why does the top thread keep breaking? Okay, I got the manual back out and I got it working, like it finally made a line. So that's better than this sleeve where like it wasn't very consistent and it tried to eat it. So I think what I was doing was I had it like twisted around the needle in a weird way that it wasn't supposed to be. So I think I have it right now. So I am going to try to do one of the sides of the shirt and see how this goes. I'm starting to get like more confident with it as I'm going, but one thing, I like have no idea how to like keep my foot consistent on the pedal. It keeps going too fast or too slow, and like I'm not really sure how to fix that, like, cause that's definitely a me problem. Oh my gosh, okay. I just did an entire line without messing up. That is exciting. Look at that! I just made an entire stitch, like all the way down. Granted, I probably could have, you know, hit the top of it, but I'm not really like sure where you're supposed to start. But that is beautiful! I did it! I did a stitch! Oh my gosh! Okay, so now I'm gonna do the other side off camera because my battery is actually dying right now, so I should probably charge my batteries and I will probably take a little bit of a break and come back to this. Okay, so I took a break, I ate some cheese, and I am ready to finish this shirt. So the instructions want me to start on the sleeves next, so that's what I'm gonna do. While my camera batteries were charging, I did end up doing both sides of the shirt, and both times it came out perfect. So I think I was correct that I was somehow wrapping the thread the wrong way around the needle, because now it's working fine. So let's see if I can continue this and make the sleeves look this good too. Okay, so I did one of the sleeves off camera. I'm a little confused because it wants you to like sew the sleeve together first, and then it wants you to do the hem afterwards. But I'm so confused how I'm supposed to like sew in a circle without, I don't know, but it kept bunching up and unraveling again. So I don't know. I think I may put the other sleeve together differently, but I probably need to figure out how to go in a complete circle because I just realized I need to do the hem on the bottom of this, and I don't really know how to do that. Okay, now I think I realize why you sew it together before you do the hem, because like that part of the shirt that is not even at all. Like I pulled way too much fabric for the hem on one side of it. But now I've got to figure out how to put the sleeve onto the shirt. Like I was really excited about this project, but the longer it goes on, the more I'm kind of like stressing about it because like I know it's not going to come out as good as I wanted it to. But I also like need to not be as hard on myself because like I am just learning and I probably could start on an easier project. But it's kind of like with crochet, like everybody was telling me, oh no, you need to like start with granny squares and stuff. And I didn't. I wanted to start with, you know, plushies and clothing and, you know, things like that. I didn't want to start at the beginning. Okay, so these sleeves are kind of complicated, I'm not gonna lie. I am just kind of confused on how the sleeve goes with the shirt because again, like, I'm supposed to sew in a circle and I'm not really sure how to do that. I hate to give up whenever I'm this close to like finishing the shirt, but I'll be honest, I've been at this like 4 hours and I need to do more research on how to put sleeves onto a shirt. Let's see how much I got done and how much I have left for this. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You know, it's not bad. It could be like a muscle tank if I can't figure out how to get the sleeves on. But here's what the sleeves would look like if I were able to figure out how to get them sewn on today. This one is kind of tight because I sewed it together way too tight at the bottom. So I think the sleeves need to be kind of redone all together. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna call it today. I feel like I did learn a lot. Is sewing easier than crocheting clothes? I think it can be, but for me, it's gonna take some time. So, if you watched this to the end, thank you. I am so sorry that I don't have anything to show for it besides a muscle tank, but I do plan on making this a series because I want to just see my growth in how much I can learn over the next year. So I do plan on, you know, coming back and doing more projects later on and finishing the shirt, finishing other projects that I want to do. I just would feel more comfortable if I did some research because I have no idea how you sew in a circle. That's kind of confusing me. And it's probably going to be something really simple. Like a lot of fiber art, it looks really complicated, but once you learn it, you're like, it's crazy, that's just a simple knot, you know? But either way, this is where I'm going to end it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.